What if I told you that you could help local businesses appear organically at the top of Google search results, even if they don't ordinarily rank on page 1 and they don't want to pay for the privilege? I know, it sounds like something out of the Matrix, but hear me out. If you Google stuff often, which presumably most of us do, you may have noticed an increase in the amount of search engine rankings pages containing what's called the People Also Ask or PAA box. PAA boxes are designed to serve up short snippets of valuable information for long-tail keywords, such as what's the best flour to use for pizza dough, or which country is the best at hockey. We all know the answer to that, right, guys? When someone clicks on a PAA dropdown, on desktop or mobile, they're given answers to their query in the form of paragraphs, lists, tables, or even a video. They're also provided a link to the source page. The interesting thing is that 75% of information in PAA boxes is sourced from websites that don't even rank on page 1 of Google. Let me say that one more time. 75% of the information in PAA boxes comes from the Google website graveyard, being page 2 and beyond. And that, my friends, is where your opportunity to shine and help your clients comes in. So in this episode, I'm going to discuss how Google's PAA feature works and share some actionable insights to help your clients improve their visibility on search. Before we discuss the how and what of PAA, let's talk about the why. Since Google launched PAA in 2015, its appearance in search has grown exponentially. In fact, 92% of all SERPs now contain a PAA box. So why is this becoming so important to Google? It's because the company sees a huge opportunity in voice search. Given there are expected to be 870 million voice recognition devices in the United States by the end of 2022, Google is using PAA to mobilize information on the web in such a way that it becomes easy for us to consume when we're not physically using our phone. So what triggers a PAA box to appear in search? These days, anything. Google is pushing PAA so much that it seems any search can trigger a bunch of dropdowns, even if the keywords don't suggest a clear informational search query or a how-to question. For example, I typed in hot coffee and a PAA box about a documentary with the same name came up. How random. So how can you help your clients feature on PAA? When selecting the source of information for PAA boxes, Google's search engine will crawl the web to find SEO-optimized content that's structured appropriately for PAA. The structuring is key, so here are a few tips to keep in mind when creating PAA-friendly content. For paragraphs, the average number of words within a paragraph featured in PAA is about 40 words, so being concise is key. For lists, try and aim between 2 to 8 bullet points. For tables, a standard PAA has the space for 14 rows and 3 columns, so try and keep to that constraint. For videos, the headline, metadata, information plugged into YouTube Studio, such as the description and tags, should clearly reflect the search query. Now, in order to create content for PAA, the most important thing you need to do is conduct your SEO research based on the keywords that matter to you or your clients, and discover what questions are and aren't being answered on PAA relating to those keywords. Then you have a couple of options. First, you can create fresh content to answer questions that haven't been answered by competitors yet. Second, you can create better optimized or alternative content, such as videos for a question that's already answered, but where you think your competitor hasn't done a good job in their response. Third, you can refresh content on your website so that it's optimized for PAA. By the way, make sure you're not already visible in PAA boxes, because otherwise you'll be optimizing content that's already optimized, and that's like trying to improve on perfect by being more perfect, and I'm not sure if that's going to fly. Given PAA is becoming so prevalent on search, my 2 cents are to be very targeted with your efforts and perhaps focus on creating brand-related content. For example, let's say your client runs a new coffee startup called Emily's Espresso. They might struggle to rank in PAA boxes for generic queries like, is it okay to drink coffee every day? But when it comes to is Emily's Espresso better than Starbucks and what's the healthiest item at Emily's Espresso, you've got a stronger chance of showing up on SERPs and quickly answering some common questions people have about specific businesses and their products. Before I finish off, I want to cover, is PAA actually worth it? It absolutely is, especially if you're helping local businesses with a limited SEO budget. Then ranking for PAA is a great way to improve search visibility. It might not be the same thing as seeing a title tag, meta, or a URL appear directly on SERPs, but people can still see that information when they click on a PAA dropdown, and that's still a win. But one caveat I'd add here is that while PAA is clearly important to Google, we don't know how successful it is from an engagement perspective. How many people are actually clicking on a PAA dropdown? And then how many people then proceed to click on a URL? We don't know because there's no reliable data out there to measure the engagement on PAA. That's not to say you shouldn't bother with it, but what I want to emphasize is that designing content for PAA should be part of your SEO strategy, not be your SEO strategy in and of itself. SEO still needs to be an intense and intentional process that helps you and your clients improve their search visibility broadly, not just in search, but in applications like Maps and YouTube. If you're interested in helping your clients rank higher on search, come and check out our white label SEO services today. There's a link in the description below. Keep on conquering, and I'll see you next time.